Back to the program. It is Friday, and boy, always in a great mood on Friday. Even a better mood when our next guest joins us on set.
Oh, loved having Beth Howard joining us once again. She is the ultimate pie maker and author who has a brand new book out this morning that we have to talk all about in a great event that you can enjoy later on today as well. Good morning. Thank you for being here with us.
It's so good to be back.
Okay, so normally there's a pie influence when you write your books. Like one of my favorites is The World Needs More Pie, or a piece of me.
Making Peace.
Making Peace, thank you.
And my cookbook.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, no, nothing pie.
No, and no grief. No pie and no grief.
No pie and no grief, okay.
That doesn't mean that I didn't make pie during the writing of this story and that I didn't have grief. Of course, that's just ongoing. Pie is a theme, a running theme in my life now. But
so how did the book come about then?
So in 2003, at the age of 40, I got married and moved to Germany. And I thought, well, how hard could that be, right? And I was so in love with my husband. He was, German. So I would do anything for love. And I thought it just wasn't going to be that hard. But when I moved over there and I had to learn the language and then adjust to the culture, and if you know anything about Germany, it's a very different culture than ours, I thought, no, it's Western Europe. It can't be that different.
Right.
But in fact, it was definitely that part of Germany I was in, Stuttgart, which is the southwestern corner. That's kind of the more conservative area, and they speak with a dialect. So I spent all these hours in German class, and I would go out in the street afterward and couldn't understand anything. It was just, it was really hard.
Was it truly a culture shock going there?
It wasn't a shock. It was just frustrating that I'm a communicator and I couldn't communicate. It was humbling and it was humiliating, and it was just really difficult. So I turned to writing because that seems to be what I do to work out my energy, and I wrote about all these crazy things that happened when I lived over there. And I was not just learning how to learn. I wasn't just learning how to speak the language or learn about the culture. I was learning how to be married, and that was challenging as well. So there's a little bit of a feminist bent to the story too, about how much of yourself do you give up for a relationship, to the point of where your self-esteem is going down the tubes. Sort of self-preservation became an issue for me.
So it's called Hausfrau honeymoon. And so kind of take us through, is just your entire adventure in Germany?
Oh gosh, if it was the entire adventure, it would be 5,000 pages. But it's, it's basically just from meeting him and Marcus, my husband, and then just moving over there, going through the motions of going through the marriage and the language classes. There's a lot about the language in here. I've had people say, oh, I never thought it would be so interesting to read about the German language, language lessons, literally. And things like going to yoga class and getting a motor scooter, and how that gave me a little bit more freedom. And yet then that became an issue because I got a nasty note left on my scooter telling me I couldn't park there. It's I was just, at every turn it felt like I was getting in trouble for something.
Right, and again, not familiar with the country, obviously.
Right, and I'm a natural rule breaker, but I was seriously not trying to break any rules. I just didn't know what the rules were.
You were just trying to exist in a new place.
I was just trying to get along.
But you said the culture was different there as opposed to here. What's one of the first things that you noticed right off the bat when you got there?
Well, for example, they don't give compliments. There's a scene in there at the beginning where we went out for ice cream, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. I just couldn't hold back. And then the ice cream parlor owner, and my husband were talking about, they were kind of laughing behind my back, but in a sweet way. But I was like, what's that about? And they're like, well, because Americans are so enthusiastic, and I'm saying I love this, and they said we have an expression in Germany that it's, if to say nothing is compliment enough. And I was like, wow, that's harsh. That's an example.
Hard to swallow for you, somebody like you.
Well, and just like at the grocery store, I didn't lay my wine bottles down. I didn't know that you were supposed to, and they've got longer belts there, so there's a lot more opportunity for the bottles to tip over, I guess. But they just bark at you instead of asking nicely. So that was hard.
Wow.
I went home in tears many, many times.
How long did you stay there? How long were you there?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. And why is it important, besides just getting it all down on paper and telling about your adventures that you had there and your experiences, why is it important for people to pick up this book?
Because I think it shows people that no matter how badly it can go, it's still worth it. It's still worth taking the chance, even if the experience didn't turn out okay, or it did turn out okay in the end. I learned so much from it that yeah, go for it anyway, even if you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
And as I said, the two-pronged message is, as a woman, you know, just be careful not to give up too much of yourself. If it's not working out, it's also okay to walk away from a situation.
Absolutely.
You said you learned so much when you were over there, then you end up coming back. Were you able to bring anything back here that it would help you here in the States?
Yeah, like leisurely dinners, for example. You know, they take more time with meals. Oh, and they didn't take coffee to go. That was like a big thing. Like you'd never see a German walking on the street with their Starbucks cup.
No way.
Not then anyway. They didn't even have cup holders in their cars. You know, they were like, what is this? And here I'm walking with my coffee mug, walking the dog, walking outside. You know, no, I don't know. Just, but there's some nice things about it. You know, just that kind of the pace and the family time, walking together as families on Sundays. They're really,
There's some good takeaway from there then too.
Of course.
Absolutely. And a great
no matter
book
where you go,
came
right?
out of this as well. And you can come and meet Beth and get copies of the book at a wonderful event that's happening
That's
later
right.
on tonight.
Tonight I'm at Beaverdale Books
There you
at
go.
6:30, serving beer and pretzels
Hey!
and not pie. Yeah.
Beer
and I
and pretzels go with a book called Hausfrau Honeymoon,
That's
yes.
right. And I might even wear my lederhosen.
There you go. I love it. So 6:30 tonight, Beaverdale Books. We all know where that's at because it's a wonderful location we have here in town over in Beaver Avenue. BethHoward.com if you want more details on Beth or what she's up to, and of course this amazing book. And you have the phone number up there as well. But that's what you're going to see, so you can get yourself a copy. Otherwise, head over to the event tonight. We are going to be heading into the kitchen because yes, I make her bring me pie every time she's in because she's the best of the best. But we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. It's going to be savory and have a German theme. Find out what that is when we come next to CWI Live. We're heading to the kitchen on Channel 23.